All right, so this is the next part of our box construction. Here is the floor with the wall attached. There we go. Just moving it for a little. And I used a paintbrush with a little bit of water, just a little bit of water, to secure the connection on the inside. Making sure it's nice and smooth. And sometimes I go in with a rubber tip tool just to make sure that that connection is going to be fine, and then it gets smoothed again. If you want to put the texture on the inside of your piece, that's totally fine. I chose to do the outside of my piece, but it's up to you what you want to do. Now, at this point for the lid, you can do one of two things. You can take the lid that you cut out and the smaller circle and score them together. So when you do this, you want to score really, really well. Add some water. The water will turn the clay that is already there into slip. And then you're going to center it with the texture showing. Tap it down a little bit, but I'm not done yet. I'm just making a mark so that I know where to come in and score this side, which again will be the lid. So by setting it down, it gives me a watermark. Now I can wet this down and make sure that I'm happy with that centered before I give it a little bit of compression. Palm of your hand so you don't get fingertips. Palm of your hand. And of course you're smoothing all your edges. This is so important in ceramics, you guys. And I'm going to seal it again with a wet paintbrush and with my rubber tip tool. So this is one way to do this, and I'm going to also make sure that this rim has no sharp edges. To make sure that that's happening, I take my sponge. This is the cleanup that always has to happen in ceramics. We're cleaning up any scratches that might have happened on the inside of this box, when I just did. And really important, smoothing all your edges so there are no sharp areas. I run my finger on it as well to make sure. All right, great. This is now finished. This will look like this eventually. Boom, there's my box. But it has to dry a little bit, okay? So there's my box. There's the side of it. I don't want to lift it up too much. But the way that you dry this, folks, is the following. And this is really important. Move this around a little. So to dry this, they're going to dry separately for a little bit, okay? Not forever. Just for a little bit. Make sure that this is completely in circle. This needs to dry flat, and I tap it onto the board to make sure that it is flat. I'm even going around this part of my lid, and I'm not just smoothing the lid, I'm kind of doing two jobs right now. I'm smoothing the lid and also making sure that it is stuck to my board. This will dry slowly, covered like this, okay? So slowly. And before this is 100% bone dry, I will place my lid on top and make sure that it fits, okay? Because this clay is still a little wet, so I want to make sure that the edges all connect. The edges of my box connect with the lid edge. And that's that. There's the box. There's the side of the box. There's the bottom of the box. I'm smoothing this edge. If you wanted a puzzle lid for this box, you would slip and score the lid to the rim, slip and score. You would skip this part, okay, lay this down, stick it on there really well, seal it with your finger, and then cut a curve around the edge so that the box now fits with the lid as a puzzle piece. For me, since I already put this insert in here, flatten it, make sure this is nice and rounded and smooth, and I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. Oh, that's it.